Hi, friends. We at GLC would like to take a quick moment to thank you for watching our programs on this platform, and we'd like to ask you for a little favor. Would you please go beneath this video and click the subscribe button? Did you know that by simply subscribing to the GLC YouTube channel, you can help us financially support the programs on this platform? You'll need to be signed into YouTube beforehand, but if not, simply click the subscribe button and YouTube will automatically walk you through the steps to sign in or to create an account. By taking these simple steps, you will not only ensure that you continue to receive our unique programming and gain instant access to the hundreds of videos we post, but more importantly, you'll also be telling YouTube that GLC's content is worth watching and promoting. Likewise, if you enjoyed a specific program, please click the thumbs up button below, which also helps inform YouTube that this is a program worth recommending. Finally, once you have logged in and subscribed, please click the notification bell below in order to receive announcements when we post new content. As usual, feel free to post your questions and comments in the comments section below. We always love hearing from our friends and viewers. Again, thank you for watching and supporting God's Learning Channel. We couldn't spread the message of the gospel without you. Be blessed, and we hope you enjoy the show. Hey, it's As Goes Israel. So goes the world with the founder of the Bible Block Party, author, speaker, world globetrotter, the beloved Avi Lipkin. How you doing, Avi?
Comandante.
Yeah, a lot of you got a kick out of the reel that we put out when we were joking with each other, and it's always a delight to see you. You bring a smile to so many faces, Avi. Tell us how you're doing.
Everything very nice. I had a little marital problem with my wife. She had to go today to Tel Aviv for some advanced medical tests.
Okay.
And my son Aaron was supposed to take her. And all of a sudden I said to my wife, I said, why would my son take you? I'll take you. I'm the husband. So she was very romantic after that. I took her to Tel Aviv, and I found the right place to get a nice sandwich when she finished her a French spaghetti type sandwich. And she did her test, and she's very happy. She has good doctors there. Very expensive, but very good doctors. And the problem with Obamacare type health insurance is that, especially when you reach age 76, they kind of tell you to go jump in the lake. They don't want to spend money on you.
Right.
And so we went out of our own pockets, to a specialist. And we spent the day today, came back. I did the Lori Bond Zoom. And now I'm with you. And everything great. I'm glad I'm alive. As you said, another good day to be alive. Rachel is fine, and she's 76. She ran off to the supermarket, came back loaded down with bags full of food, and no diet in my house, let me tell you. And we're very pleased. It's everything good to be alive. And tomorrow I go to Hadassah Hospital to check out the scar where my pacemaker is, and they're not happy with the speed with which it's healing, but it's healing. It's taking its time.
Good.
And every time he says to me, that my surgeon says, when are you planning to travel to the States? I said, 2 weeks. I said, okay, in 2 weeks we'll check you again. This is like the third time I come back. Each time he says, when are you leaving? I said, 2 weeks. Oh, that's good. We'll check you again. So my doctor really does not want me to travel just yet. And meanwhile, I'm working on my 9th book, Turkey and the Armageddon. And I'm expecting it to be a bestseller. And we will be definitely offering the book to pastors. There are a number of websites that pastors check out for online books, for ebooks.
Right.
And
good.
I expect this to be the best of all my books. So
wow.
Yeah.
And it's not just from an opinion standpoint. You are a scholar and also a Sovietologist as well. I know that plays a part as well in knowing what's happening in the minds of Putin and others. And we're grateful. Looking forward to seeing you when you come to town. We gotta get together and catch up and enjoy some laughs and and such. But
As
you know,
I always,
go
as
ahead.
I always say to my teetotaling Christian buddies, I said, "Oh, we'll just have a few beers."
There you go. Well, hey, if you were a preacher in Germantown and you don't drink beer, well, then you're not going to have many people in your church. But hey, folks, the Jesus I knew made the best wine, and it wasn't the cheap stuff either. It was good stuff there. Of course, hey, Jews know how to party better than Italians. They're
Listen,
wedded.
Jesus did not drink Welch's grape juice. Let me
No,
tell
he
you.
didn't. There's an old joke. This lady, you know, Jesus read the King James, and he didn't drink wine. No, ma'am. Actually, it was wine. It was the best wine. It was better than what they served in the beginning. She goes, well, and I would have thought a lot more of him had he not done that. But hey, we could talk for hours about that. What is the word on the street in Israel?
Well, the latest word is a reaction, and not a reaction. President Trump in Saudi Arabia said today that he wants the war over with Gaza, and that he wants to do all kinds of wonderful things to develop the area. And I looked at my wife and I said to her, our military commander said we can finish off Hamas in 2 weeks. The reason we don't do it is we still have 20 live hostages.
Right.
And we're very afraid that they will be killed. But the point is, if you have to choose between the security of 10 million Israeli citizens
Right.
and 20 hostages, you've got to go with the 10 million.
Yes.
And so I think President Trump will not object too much, but we've got to do it fast. He cannot develop his economic plans without Hamas being totally wiped out.
Right.
The alternative is that they will return to the borders. They'll be shooting into our windows again,
Right.
and within a year, 2 years, we're going to have another war. So this war has to be ended. I believe there should be humanitarian assistance, but all of this in 2 weeks after we finish the war with Hamas.
Well, the headlines are saying $1 trillion deal on the line for Americans. Folks, you need to be reminded that Fox News called the election early for Basement Joe. And you cannot put any trust into Fox. Friends of mine that were contributors ceased to be because of the guidelines and what they could not say. That is why I want to encourage everybody watching, everybody, if you can get to a Chase Bank, and you didn't ask me to do this, Avi, but if you can get to a Chase Bank, you want the real word from Israel? You can't trust Fox. You can't trust mainstream media. They're compromised. They're taking money from the government and their own governments. You've got to trust true news from independent journalists, the same independent journalists that helped win the election for Trump because of telling the truth. And so go to Chase Bank, Dennis Avi Lipkin, and make contact with me or with Avi from biblicalalliance.com. Let him know that it's coming. And by the way, would like to thank everybody who has contributed online to biblicalalliance.com. And, Avi, you may be there, boots on the ground in Israel, but your knowledge is needed. Plenty of people have enjoyed the fruits of your knowledge and teachings, and respectfully, they need to contribute to you as well, not just the news, but true teaching from a scholar, a biblical scholar, and author and speaker. So you would do well to do that. Please do that. It's good soil. There's shysters running around. There's profiteers running around, and they manipulate people. They bend people to their will. They deceive people, and it's easy to be deceived. But you can't argue with truth. What's happening? Eyewitness, boots on the ground from Israel, and so I encourage you to drop the profiteers from your giving roster and give to people like Avi who are risking their lives to bring you the truth. With that said, the latest word from Netanyahu, what's he saying? How's he doing?
Well, the latest word from Netanyahu, of course, is welcoming home Idan Alexander, who is an American citizen, but he was serving in the Golani commando unit when he was taken prisoner by Hamas. And President Trump did a wonderful job of getting him released. Um, uh, they told him, President Trump and the leader of Qatar, that he should come to Qatar immediately to say thank you. But once he got to the Ichilov hospital, they said, no, no, no. After 580 days, locked up in a cell inside of a tunnel with very little food, you aren't going anywhere until the hospital is finished with you. We are making sure to it that he has to recover. You can't just get out of one of these tight cubicles in the middle of a Gaza tunnel, being starved to death,
Right.
being shackled. So sorry to disappoint everybody in Qatar or in Saudi. Our Idan has to recuperate from what Hamas did to him. And we still have other people who were released in different trades, and they're still in the hospital. People don't get out of this situation so easily. They can go to the hospital and they find all kinds of stuff. So these people are being healed. They're being taken care of in the hospitals. But Prime Minister Netanyahu made a very emotional speech, welcoming back Idan Alexander. And so I don't know. I suppose one day he'll come out of the hospital, be okay. And then he'll probably say, okay, let's go a party with President Trump. I think that would be great.
Well,
Other than that, some latest words, our commander-in-chief of the army, our defense minister, and Netanyahu have been responding to calls from President Trump to end the war with Gaza. And I said to my wife, I said, I think that President Trump would not mind waiting 2 weeks if the Israeli army would just finish off Hamas once and for all. Because if we leave them, they're going to come back in a year or two and blow up our towns and cities and rape our women, and chop up our children and cook them in the microwave. I mean, these Hamas people, they're not people. They're
animals.
Animals don't do that kind of stuff. So all our leaders, including Prime Minister Netanyahu, I would say have 80 to 90% of the population behind them. I don't include the Arab population because the Arab population basically agrees with Hamas.
Yeah, yeah. When the chips are down, their loyalties are surely revealed. And
people have to be reminded that Islam is not a religion. Islam is a criminal psychosis bent on the destruction of the entire human race. Jews first, Christians second, and then everyone else some other time. It's not a religion. It is a psychosis. I said this in Switzerland in 2009. I got a 3-year jail sentence, of which I'm very proud. Of course, it was commuted to 10-year probation. But, there's a very famous, very dear woman from Syria. Her name is Wafa Sultan. And she used to be a Muslim. And today, I don't know if she converted to Christianity or what, but she attacks Islam. And you know what she said? Allah is the devil, and Islam is a criminal psychosis and not a religion. Exactly what I say. And it's in my book, my new book coming out. It's going to be in one of my books. So, listen, America may be getting some money now from Arab countries or Muslim countries, but America is going to be under the gun also by Islam. I've been saying this for 35 years.
Look at London. You can have a prison sentence for the wrong mean, but if you behead your neighbor, well, it's just.
You know what they said in England yesterday?
What?
They said the Christian leadership in England, the conservative political Christian leadership, called on the leadership of all of Europe to help save England from the Muslim invasion.
Well,
Because they said it's,
they're a little late,
it's
aren't they?
destroying, it's destroying England. And you know, I have to tell you something. I'm a Jew, so I don't choose between Protestants and Catholics. For me, they're all good. But Protestants have destroyed England. Catholics have destroyed France and Belgium. Something has to be done. And all you know, I'm a Jew who's preaching Christian revival, Protestants and Catholics. We all have to wake up. I don't want to say crusades, God forbid crusades, but why were there crusades? Because Islam was overrunning all of Europe 1,000 years ago. It cannot be tolerated again. We don't learn from our history.
Well, it's convenient to ignore history when there's money on the line. You
Right.
know, as President Trump meets with Saudi Arabia, surely he knows what he's doing, because it was Saudi Arabia that supposedly gave $30 million to Harvard for an Indonesian student that ended up becoming the president of the United States. We got to wise up, you know.
Are you talking about Indonesia or Kenya? I think he was born in Kenya, but he was
Well,
raised in Indonesia.
well, his card was as an Indonesian student,
Right.
and so I mean, no one's surprised by now. But what's shameful is no one seems to care. They just seem to care about what they can get, and we care. Patriots care. America cared, but even then, the overwhelming election didn't even count for hardly the population that's in America. What are you thinking, folks? Get involved. Vote. WeThePeople.com, WeThePeopleTownSquare.com. WeThePeopleTownSquare.com supports Avi Lipkin, you know, with exposure and stuff, and hopefully more. But get involved, folks. Run for something. Uh, all you have to do is watch the news. You don't have to be that smart to run for something. But the smart ones, I pray that you do, you know. But my gosh, I mean, more is coming to light. So much of the American taxpaying dollars going to bogus NGOs right into the pockets of politicians that are supposed to serve the people. They don't serve the people. Some of them do, but what a mess. What a mess. But it's important to get behind those who are telling the truth. Dennis Avi Lipkin at Chase Bank. That's good soil. It's not the latest fad, not the latest profiteer coming to your town to take an offering with their bags of money and leave. You need to get behind true proclaimers of the truth that will put it on the line and speak the truth. Everyone wants to be a prophet, but nobody's willing to be salt and two. Everyone wants to be an apostle, but nobody wants to work a job. It's pathetic over here. We got to get it together, folks. Those things, those offices are real, I believe, but I think they're a lot more seldom than the latest industry or fad is allowing. We need true voices speaking the truth. If you're a prophet to your nation, speak against the darkness and the sin in that nation. I know, Avi, I know that you are. I know that I am. You just don't see it on our business card. But all that to say is it's time to speak the truth and to support the truth. You can support the truth, biblicalalliance.com, or go to your Chase Bank, Dennis Avi Lipkin. He has not asked me to do this, but we need to do it. Avi, how long has it been since you've been in the States now?
2 years and 3 months, and God willing, I mean, I'm working on finishing my ninth book and getting it out, especially to the pastors,
Right.
because it tells the whole truth from a biblical perspective. Again, Biblical Alliance is the name of my website, and all I'm trying to do is get all Jews and Christians together to march together to save civilization from the barbarians.
And that may sound crazy to you folks, but pick up a history book. Why don't you go to the library today? You know, and do a little. I mean, you think you'd ever see a day where a political party is supporting Hamas? I mean, I'm so proud of Rubio. I mean, listen to the questions of the leftist. You might as well call it Islamic media, but the leftist Chinese Islamic communist media. And, they're actually asking questions. Why, Mark Rubio, are you kicking out foreign exchange students who want to tear up buildings and support Hamas? You know? So these are the days in which we live. I am seeing an undercurrent of the youth, though, that are saying, what are you people doing? You people out of your minds. And I'm encouraged by our youth. That's why we need to encourage young people to speak the truth and return to true journalism, not activism. You know, my goodness. But we've got to speak the truth, proclaim the truth. And the truth is that we're dealing with a situation where there are people who want you wiped off the face of the earth and they can't stop killing each other. They're not going to spare you because you're a white liberal, you know. And so, my gosh, we could talk for years on that, but it's very important to see that it's the same players. It's all over the world. It's the same players, the same ideologies that are combined, the same tactics, same media propagation. Wake up to it. What can you do? You can pray for the peace of Israel. You can support True News. Don't send me money. I don't want your money. I don't, I don't, I'm not, I don't, I want you to support Avi, who hasn't been able to do what he does for a livelihood because of the left, quite frankly, and Hamas. And put your money in good soil. Stop flushing it down the toilet with the latest fad. Support True News, True Media, BiblicalAlliance.com. Hope you don't mind me doing this, Avi. But we got to get it together here, folks. Snap out of it. And anyway, spend a little more time in prayer, a little less time on your phone. And when you go make your deposit today, do what you can, you know? So we need to do that. And so, um, Aaron, does he have any insight that he's allowed to share from his vantage point with the idea?
Well, I cannot say what he says and what he doesn't say, but I
Sure.
will say the Israeli army reserves is trying to retire as many old guys like my son as they can. But the commander of the Central Command, was a general, said to my son Aaron, he says, "You're the last guy who's going to be left in the army. We're never going to let you go." And Eddie, his wife, was a real heroine.
Yeah.
She's running the tour company, and we're getting ready for many tours. So I imagine if Trump gets his way and the war ends, God willing, with victory for Judeo-Christianity, I think the day will come that he will retire from the Army Reserves and go back to Lipkin tours. So we're all waiting for these Christians to come back to Israel. By the way, did you ever hear Mark Bills? He's
No, I haven't. I thought I saw him at NRB, but that was somebody else.
Yeah. Well, there's a Mark Bills from Washington State, from
Yeah,
Fiala. So
yeah.
I had dinner with him last night at the hotel. He brought his picture
Oh,
30
he's
very
he's a
wonderful
good
Christian
man. He's a good man. Yeah,
man, and I think he's been on GLC.
oh, a
Uh,
lot. He's been on
yeah,
GLC a lot. He was talking about the blood moons. Yeah,
so that's exactly the guy.
yeah. Mark
And
Biltz. Yeah.
I'm just reminding you, if you're in the mood to have him, he'll be in Israel 2 more days, and then he goes home. So you'll probably
Hey, I would love that. Absolutely love that. Please connect us if you can. And
no. I'll tell him that you said that, and he'll contact you for sure.
yeah,
And it's good. I said to him, I haven't seen you in almost 3 years since I left the States. So I'm very happy to see Mark Biltz. And Jerry McLaughlin, who is my agent, also was there for dinner, and a few other people.
yeah,
There was one from Henderson, Texas. I love these Christian tour groups or pilgrimage groups that come to Israel. I sit down with them. In every group, there are at least a half dozen who know me. So we have a lot of banter. So it's almost like I'm in Texas. So
Well, you're very loved. And of course, hey, I'm sorry, folks, but who can beat Texas? I love
That's right.
Texas, the Republic of Texas. And
Actually, you don't say that's right. You say that's rat.
that's right.
That's rat, like rat, RIGHT, like rat now.
Well, this is the time. Things are heightened. I have a sense that we're going to see another level of activity, but we've got to set our face like flint. We have to have a fearless resolve. We have to seize the offensive. Well, what is that? The hunted becomes the hunter. And the best form of counterterrorism is to terrorize the terrorist. People need to know that. Otherwise, it'll never stop. I pray that Israel terrorizes the terrorist who shed innocent blood. And that's what I feel about that. So I wish our president success. Surely he's aware of what we're facing, but he
Right.
also knows that allegiance um, in terrorist circles, allegiance is to who has the most money. It's not a faith, not the highest levels. It's money, and but uh, you've got to stop the threat. Stop the threat, and you have the right to do that. You know, America has the right to do it. Israel has the right to do it. Ireland, my ancestors, the McFerrins in Ireland, boy, they're standing up by the tens of thousands. You don't see it on your mainstream media, if you want to even call it that anymore, but it's happening. It's been happening a lot of places in the world. They're tired of this planned depopulation and replacement population that the globalists have been trying. So, salute to Ireland. May you have success. I wouldn't be surprised, Avi, if Conor McGregor um, ends up being the president. I don't know if you knew who that is, but mixed martial artist, phenomenal man, and rags to riches story, and he loves his country and he loves Ireland, and he tells it like it is. And so I think he would be a great president for Ireland because they're known for their strength, fighting Irish. They don't mess around. And anyway, we could talk for days on that too. But people, you need to make a stand now. We haven't been business as usual since the pandemic, and you got to wise up. You got to wise up. Look out for your family. Pray for the peace of Israel and Jerusalem. Pray for America. Pray for Avi, and do more than pray for Avi. Support Avi as he brings us the truth every week faithfully from inside Israel. And that's biblicalalliance.com. That's also the Chase Bank. Now, Avi, what's the best email people can send to you an email to let you know that they're supporting you?
Okay, well, my pen name is Victor Mordecai. So half of Victor, VIC, half of Mordecai, MORD, 2001, the year 2001 at yahoo.com.
Yeah. That will be on the screen for broadcast, but I'm also putting it on our social that we're doing this right now too.
Right.
But we're grateful to see you every time we see you. And
The highlight of my week when I see you.
well, me too. And we're looking forward to seeing you in person as well. But
God willing.
yeah, send an email if you're going to do the Chase Bank thing. Avi will see it. Now there is a time difference, um, because right now, for example, it's 9:38 a.m. in the morning. But what time is it in Israel?
5:30.
5:30 p.m. So if you get around to it on an afternoon, you can still shoot an email, but it may not be seen until the sun rises again in Israel. But on behalf of Avi Lipkin and with him, we want to thank everybody who has been a part of this picture, supporting biblicalalliance.com.